Good morning. Myself Ashaila Devi, Assistant Professor in Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to discuss about the subject CS 3391 Object Oriented Programming. In this subject, today we are going to discuss about multi-threading. So what is the outcome of learning this particular module is, on successful completion of this module, the student should be able to summarize the concept of multi-threading. So first we are going to see what is multi-threading. In programming, there are two main ways to improve the throughput of the program. One is by using multi-threading, another one is by using multitasking. So both of these methods take advantages of parallelism, which utilize the power of CPU and improve the throughput of the program. So there is a difference between multi-threading and multitasking. In multitasking, the system allows to execute multiple programs and tasks at the same time. So it executes multiple programs or a task at the same time. Whereas in multi-threading, the system executes multiple threads at the same time. So there is a major difference. If it is a multitasking means we are going to execute multiple programs at a time. Here we are going to execute multiple threads at a time. So in multi-threading, and in multi-threading is a more granular than multitasking. In multitasking, the CPU switches between the multiple programs to complete their execution in real time, while in multi-threading, the CPU switches between multiple threads of the same program. The next important point is the process are heavyweight as compared to threads normally, and we know that a thread is a lightweight process, so they require their own address space, which means multitasking is heavy compared to this multi-threading. And another important point is the multitasking allows or allocates separate memory and resources for each of the process or program, whereas in multi-threading, the thread belongs to the same process, so it can share the resources or share the memory. So we don't want to allocate separate memory or separate resources for a thread, because a thread is a lightweight process which is run parallelly in a single program, so it can share the resources. And next we are going to discuss about multitasking. Multitasking is done when a single CPU performs several tasks, either it may be a program or a process or a task. So to perform multitasking, the CPU switches among these tasks very frequently so that the user can interact with each program simultaneously. But in multitasking operating system, several users can share the system simultaneously. CPU rapidly switches among the tasks, so little bit of time is needed to switch from one user to other user. So this puts an impression on the user that the entire computer system is dedicated to him. So that is the main benefit of multitasking. Then about multi-threading allows multiple thread can run in a single task that can be processed by the CPU at the same time. So we know that the thread is a basic execution unit which has its own program counter, setup register and stack. So but it shares the code, data and files and resources in which program it belongs. And process can have multiple threads simultaneously, and the CPU switches among these threads so that frequently making an impression to the user that all the threads are running simultaneously. So this is an example thread. A thread or thread consists of a process consists of several threads. A thread has a code block and the registers and stacks. So this is an example for a multiple threads or multi-threading. And next we are going to see the benefits of multi-threading. The multi-threading increases the responsiveness of the system. If one thread of the application is not responding, the other would respond to the user. And also the multi-threading allows resource sharing, as threads belong to the same process and can share the code as well as it share the memory also. That is the address space also. And the next important point is creating different process is costlier, as the system has to allocate different memory and resources to each process. But by creating threads is a very easy task, because you don't want to allocate memory or separate resources for these threads. So that these are all the benefits of multi-threading.